Fighting Talk back again, and today I'm delighted to be joined by UFC light heavyweight Paul Craig, head of his bout against Volkan Oezdemir on July the 23rd. I mean, Paul, we spoke in this gym a few months back. You said it was going to be an entertaining fight against Krylov. You weren't wrong, were you?
Yep, I'm getting that like sort of mystic and that kind of thing. I think I said first round triangle. I think I did say that. But I think every time you go into a fight, you want to finish it as early as possible. And as I said to you, you want to put on a performance, and I think that I did put on that performance, and I think people enjoy watching me fight. So let's see what we can do again in London.
Look, I mean, the fight only lasted a few minutes, but those few minutes, was it touch and go for you at the time? And a lot of fans in the arena certainly were holding their breath.
Being a Paul Craig fan, it's a tough gig, isn't it? It's that roller coaster where you think, oh my god, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, and you hit that peak and that dip. And I think a lot of people thought I was hurt, but it's part of my game. Playing, I'd like to say it's called playing possum, but nobody wants to get hit. But I need to allow people to overcommit and believe that they're going to get something, so that I can actually enforce my game plan. I'm not the biggest, I'm not the strongest. What I have got is I've got grit and I've got skill to back up my words.
Look, I know you're not big on call-outs, but after the bout, you'd said you would like Anthony Smith. We've not got Anthony Smith here in London. Was there a slight disappointment it wasn't somebody above you in the rankings? No disrespect, of course, to Oezdemir, but he is ranked one below you.
Yep. So the top 10, it's every fighter in there as a savage, and we've got somebody like Anthony Smith who pretty much had said to me, we're going to sort out this fight. So he'd sort of, I was like, right, we're getting this fight. And the UFC come back and say, no, it's not happening. He's already signed a contract with Ankalaev. And I'm like, I don't have a dance. I don't have a partner for the dance. And then when he came back and offered us Oezdemir, we were like, yep, we'll take that. With the UFC, you could bitch and moan and be like, I want to be fighting this guy and I want to be fighting this guy. But ultimately, it's your job. And if your boss tells you to come in and work 9 o'clock on Monday morning, you have to do it. And for us, it was this fight. We know he has got explosive power. We've seen him. He's maybe in a skid now. But just because he's had a few losses does not necessarily mean he's down and out. That guy was fighting for the title, and it was a competitive fight. We've seen him up against guys like Prohaska, who's getting the title shot. So we know he's in the mix. Getting this scalp means we're one step closer to the title, and especially the way the top 5, the top 10's moving. You know, we've got everybody's kind of matched up, and I think as the year comes to an end, we're going to see where people are going to fit. Where am I going to fit in that top 5? Where am I going to fit getting closer to that title? So it's interesting to be part of the light heavyweight division. It's moving so quickly.
I mean, it is a hell of a fight. If we sort of go back as well, just that last London card, I know when we spoke, again, you missed my prediction. You said you thought you were going to be the opening fight on the main card. Yep. You were until just, 48 hours before, and then it moved around. I know, look, you've been in this game long enough not to let that affect you mentally going into the fight. But after the fight, and when you sort of thought about it, were you a little bit hurt by that decision to take it off there?
You know, I think on an event like London, it was a big showcase event for UK MMA. We had Tom Aspinall finishing that card. We had guys who are UK talent on a UK card. It was great to be part of it. Ideally, I'd like to be in that top spot for everybody to see me, to be showcased in there. But same again, when you're told to fight in this position, you fight in this position. And I do understand why the UFC had done it. We know what was happening in Ukraine at the moment. He's a Ukrainian fighter who's staying in Russia. So he's in quite a difficult position in his life. So I totally understand. Ideally, I'd like to be in that main event, open it up, but can't have everything you want. If
we look forward then to July 23rd, it's another, I guess, striker versus grappler bout. Yep. That's certainly how I see it. Is that sort of how you see this playing out?
Yep, I think that's how, if you're a Paul Craig fan, you're always going to see Paul Craig as a grappler against a striker. It doesn't matter who it is. Yeah. Doesn't matter if the guy's a high-level grappler, wrestler. You're always going to see Paul Craig's a grappler. He's against a striker. This is exactly how it's going to be. A little bit shorter than me. Likes to explode forward. Likes to drop heavy hands. And I think it's just about riding the storm. Ride the storm. Take him into my world. If it's against the cage or if it's on the mat. In the streets or in the sheets, we're going to fuck them up.
Look, you've been very active this year. By the time sort of July rolls around, that'll be 2 fights within the space of 7 months. How active are you looking to be for that second half of the year?
See, once that fight's done, we're straight back into the camp, straight back into the gym, and we're looking for that next fight, looking about November, December time. I love fighting. This is what I get into this sport for. I know I was talking about leaving the sport and all that kind of stuff, and I threw my toys out the pram, but I think I'm a fighter, and it's going to be hard to walk away from this sport. We see it with guys who are still fighting, who have left the UFC, who have left MMA, and they still can't get away from that bug of combat sports. I think that's going to be like for myself. I love I love the pageantry that goes along with sport. I love that walkout. I love the preparation. I love being up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go a run. I love everything that goes along with this sport. It's going to be hard to walk away from this.
Last couple then, because I know when we did speak that last time there, you had said, look, yeah, if in November I want to walk away, I do. You've just said there that was sort of throwing your toes out the pram a little bit. What was that down to, or in relation to?
You know, we had come off that amazing victory over Jamal Hill, and then we seen Jamal go ahead and fight Jim Crute, knock him out, go ahead and fight, was it Johnny Walker, knock him out. And then I'm sitting in the sideline, I'm a bench warmer. I'm sitting there like, oh man, that could have been me. And obviously we had arranged that fight for Gus in London. London card never happened. They moved it to Vegas. Gus ended up getting injured, and then it kind of put me back at least 6 to 8 months within my camp. Like, I had done a full year's worth of camps leading into Krylov. Like, I'd done a full year. I finished with Jamal Hill, and we were looking forward to, I think it was June or July, and we just kept training and we kept training. And you get to the point where you're like dragging your heels. Training becomes very, very hard, and all you're looking for is that end result, because you put all this work into it, and all you're looking for is that 15 minutes of hard work to say, like, that's that camp done. And I never got it, and it took me like nearly a full year to get that again. So I was digging my heels in, and by right, Jamal Hill deserves to be shooting up them. Knocking out the two guys is incredible. So comparing yourself to other guys in the division and seeing like, I should be here, that's why I threw the toys out the pram. And it's a bit childish, but I love this sport. I love the UFC. I love working for them. I love the way they treat the fighters. I love the way the fans treat the fighters. I love everything about it. So it's going to be hard to walk away.
Finally then, Paul, I know you've got a 3-hour ride back up the road, so can I finally get a prediction off you?
I'm going for first round. First round, I'm going to take him down. It's going to be heavy ground and pound. He's going to turn on his back, and I'm going to sink in that rear naked choke. That's what it's going to be. Quite a lot of things I do with my sports psychologist is visualization, and these are all the things I visualize. So like waking up first thing in the morning when the house is quiet and just running through these scenarios in my head over and over again, and this is the one that keeps coming up, the takedown into the back take. And I don't mind telling people what my game plan is, because everybody knows I'm going for a triangle. There's a difference coming to the time, and everybody's like, yeah, Paul's going for a triangle. I'm not going to copy a triangle. And then all of a sudden you're like, how'd I end up in here? And then it's tap, nap or snap.
Perfect then, Paul. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, man, for your time.